Hello everyone, and the channel is with you in search of the best, and today I will tell you about 10 interesting facts about the movie Death on the Nile. Listen carefully and don't get distracted. Subscribe to the channel. I watched statistics and 94% of people watch without a subscription. It's not difficult for you to subscribe to this channel, but I will be glad. Click on the like button if you want to continue. Fact 1. At the end of the book Carefree, 2017, Poirot is told about Death on the Nile. In Death on the Nile, Poirot was on the boat before and during the first murder. This may or may not be an inconsistency, as the Death on the Nile mentioned at the end of Murder on the Orient Express may refer to a death occurring before the first death in the novel. Early on, when the main characters are introduced, it is revealed through exposure that Poirot's case, called in to investigate, was a completely different crime. Fact 2. The film's budget is estimated at £120 million. Fact 3. The only two characters to appear in either this film or its predecessor are Poirot himself and his friend Book, Tom Bateman. In fact, Book does not appear in the Death on the Nile novel, but was added in place of a similar character from the book. Fact 4. Many of the characters are combinations or alterations of characters from the novel to make the cast smaller and less intricate in the plot. Saloma and Rosalie Otterborn, a romantic novelist, and her daughter, become a singer and her niece/manager. Andrew Pennington becomes Andrew Kachaturian's cousin. Marie Van Schuyler, a socialite with no connection to Lynette, becomes godmother to Lynette, who has the ideals of Mr. Ferguson, an aristocrat turned socialist. Windlesham, a character mentioned in the first chapter, teams up with Dr. Bessiner to become Dr. and Lord Windlesham. Book, a character who only appears in Murder on the Orient Express, takes on elements of Colonel Russ, while his choice of travel companion, his mother Euphemia, is reminiscent of the relationship between Tim and Mrs. Allerton. Fact 5. This film has been delayed several times. Originally released in 2019, it was delayed in filming, so was pushed back to 2020. Then, due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, it was promoted several times until it was set for fall 2021. It was then announced on April 3, 2021 that it would be pushed back to February 2022 due to Armie Hammer's accusations. Fact 6. Even though Ali Fazal plays an Armenian, he is an Indian. Fact 7. In both this film and Murder on the Orient Express, 2017, Poirot shows signs of obsessive compulsiveness. Letitia Wright's character even calls him compulsive at one point. His need for balance and symmetry is shown when he sends back one of the desserts so he has an even number, and when he straightens the legs of one of the victims. We consider obsessive-compulsive disorder, or OCD, as a relatively new discovery, but the term was coined in 1877 by the German psychiatrist Karl Westphal. Fact 8. Jewelry designed by Tiffany & Co. worn in the film, most notably the Lynette diamond necklace. The necklace features a replica of the Tiffany yellow diamond, one of the largest yellow diamonds ever discovered. It was first discovered in South Africa in 1877, as of 2022, only 4 women have worn it in public. It was worn by Mrs. Sheldon Whitehouse at the Tiffany Ball in 1957. It was worn by Audrey Hepburn for publicity photos of Breakfast, 1961. Lady Gaga wore a diamond at the 91st Academy Awards, 2019. Beyoncé wore the necklace in a campaign with Tiffany in 2021. Fact 9. Sitting and admiring the Sphinx, you can see Poirot sitting at the table, on which there are 2 eggs in cups. This is likely a reference to Bran Poirot's earlier film Murder on the Orient Express, 2017, in which Poirot tries to find 2 eggs of the same size for breakfast. Fact 10. It is assumed that this version of Poirot was born much later than his literary counterpart, who was already a mature man in the 50s at the beginning of the 20th century. In this film, Poirot is shown in the prologue as a young soldier in 1914, at most in his 20s and early 30s, making him at least 30 years younger than book Poirot.